We are honored to have closing remark delivered by Inspector General from Ministry of Finance of the Republic of Indonesia. I am now very pleased to invite Ibu Sumiyati to deliver her closing remark.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished panelists, colleagues, and participants, very good afternoon to all of you. Since my closing remark is scheduled late in the afternoon, and I believe many of your energy and concentration has been substantially spent after following and participating in two important sessions of this seminar from early morning until this afternoon, I would like to extend a courtesy of delivering a short but hopefully insightful closing. As you fully aware, today's seminar is held as part of the work leading to the World Bank and IMF 2018 annual meeting. Nevertheless, the selection for today's Voyage to Indonesia seminar theme is made on a strong belief that women empowerment is a crucial development agenda to be pursued not just globally but also locally as a nation and economy. The fact that millions of women all over the world still face difficulties in accessing proper and quality education, health, and financing services means that globally we are underutilizing a substantial portion of our workforce. An alarming data from UNFPA suggests that 6 out of 10 of the world's poorest are women, and about 2/3 of the world's illiterate adults are women. This bleak outlook of women's capacity in today's economy does not do justice to its potential role as a global economic driver. As demonstrated in a number of countries, raising women's labor participation to that of men can boost GDP by as much as 9% in Japan and 27% in India from the IMF research. Furthermore, McKinsey Global Institute report suggests that by advancing women equality agenda, around $12 trillion could be added to global GDP by 2025. In the case of Indonesia, an estimated 135 billion US dollars can be added to the national GDP by 2025 through gender parity improvement. Departing from this thought and evidence, both global, collective, and national individual efforts must be well formulated and executed to reduce the gap between women and men participation in the economy and to identify the potential current and future role and work of women. As with many other policy formulation, the good practice for gender policy design should always take into account local considerations and wisdom, as well as understanding the fact that not all policies are fitting for all communities. During the last two sessions, we have listened and discussed issues and challenges that women face in securing jobs, advancing careers, and making the most of available business opportunities. In addition to acknowledging serious and fundamental issues of violence towards women and children, as well as human trafficking that involves women and children. We have also had challenges and opportunities for women in participating in the current and future work shaped by proliferation of digital technology and globalization. Many recommendations have been put forward on how women should be empowered, ranging from the improvement of healthcare to address the lingering maternal mortality rate issues, improving access not just to male education and training, but to a quality ones, and improving access to financing for women entrepreneurs. All of this merit our serious attention and follow through, and many of which has been integrated into our medium-term development agenda, as well as action plans across our key line ministries. Nevertheless, from these sessions, we also identify the urgency and needs of encouraging private and public sector participation, especially in transforming the mindset of our community in favor of stronger women participation in the economy. At the end of the day, all of these policy recommendations boils down to a fundamental question on how our women community perceive themselves of becoming in the future. The choice of whether to focus their time to nurture their children or to participate more actively in economy as either formal or informal worker, often influenced not only by needs but also by culture and faith. This is why today's discussion also incorporates an important element, which is the future of women choosing to spend some or all of their time and energy for unpaid but noble work for nurturing their children. In this regard, data from UN Women suggests that globally, women do 2.6 times the unpaid care and domestic work than men. In Central and Southern Asia, the figure is higher at 3 times, with huge variation across countries within the Asia-Pacific region. In Cambodia, women do as much as 10 times the unpaid care and domestic work as men, while the corresponding figure for Bhutan is 1.8. Attempting to monetize the unpaid caring and domestic work done by women all over the World Bank, using conservative assumption by substituting unpaid work with similar commercial work done by daycare and home care professionals, etc., have estimated that unpaid work being undertaken by women today amounts to as much as $10 trillion of output per year, roughly equivalent to 13% of global GDP. Setting aside the critically for the future of our young generation in terms of their monetary value alone, these unpaid works represent an important but often neglected by part of profession. Sorry. In light of this, the government of Indonesia has adopted a balanced gender empowerment strategy, which incorporates support for women who have chosen to set aside their time and energy for unpaid work. In this context, government has launched a health and nutrition program that caters to the need of women and children at the early stages of their development. Government has launched an expand microfinancing scheme and encourage disbursement of financing to women entrepreneurs choosing to build their businesses from home or home industries. Since 2017 to March 2018, the government, through its ultra micro credit scheme we call UMI, has extended 1.04 trillion rupiah to 385,277 debtors, which are 91% women. Government has also launched gender-sensitive policies and gender budget mainstreaming efforts across line ministries and subnational government level. These policies are aimed to provide women working in government agencies across the nation with supportive work policies and facilities such as paid maternal leave and on-site daycare and healthcare center, as well as nursing areas. All of these are implemented based on a principle of leaving no woman behind, but leaving women a freedom to choose its role in the nation's development. In addition to adopting a balanced approach to gender development, government of Indonesia has also taken a proactive measure to improve capacity of women workers and our national workforce as a whole in embracing the transformation of work fueled by technology proliferation. This effort is quite challenging, since the data from the National Strategic Agency shows that only 37.4% of women work in the formal sector, and from the number only 30% of women work in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics industry. So it means that not quite big numbers in this area. Nevertheless, it's also promising, since study from UNESCO Statistic Agency indicates that this figure is still higher than the average of Southern ASEAN countries of 30%. This ranking places in Indonesia in front of neighboring countries such as Singapore, Laos, and Cambodia. In the entrepreneurship sector, the role of Indonesian women is much better, with around 60% of SMEs owned by women. The number of women entrepreneurs has increased to 14.3 million in 2017 from 12.7 million in 2016. This promising profile shows a significant potential for development and transformation into digital business, and for these purposes, the government, through the Ministry of Information and Communication, has outlined 5 key policy measures to be taken to support empowered future digital SMEs. First is by improving access to broadband internet, which currently is still relatively limited and costly. I think this one has already been discussed from early morning. And then the second one is by helping the transformation of SMEs into digital businesses, while there are currently numerous government organizations providing a supporting program, many still suffer from overlap and limited coverage. Third is the development and expansion of electronic payment system, which will help boost digital transformation in the future. The fourth is expanding access for investment from both domestic and international sources, which is crucial for the development of SMEs. And the fifth is expanding government services through e-government, which will increase the effectiveness and efficiency of the government services, especially those related to business establishment and operation. All of the 5 of these measures have been integrated in the current national roadmap for e-commerce, launched on the 21st of July 2017 by President Joko Widodo, and serve as a testament of the government commitment to empower our SMEs through the proliferation of digital technology. Concluding my remarks, I would like to underline the fact that despite all of the efforts that the government have taken to empower women, There is still substantial space left for improvement, and although many key government empowerment measures to eradicate poverty and provide job opportunity seems to be aimed at the general population, slowly but sure, women's contribution in the economy will continue to grow as more women realize its potential role in the economy, and as both cultures and policies shifted into a more accommodative stance. I believe there are still policy areas that we have yet to discuss thoroughly, and there are still opportunities for us to discuss some of the key and interesting issues that we have identified into this seminar later during the annual meeting of the World Bank and the Fund in Bali this coming October. In this regard, as governing member of the organizing committee, I would like to extend our invitation to all of you to participate in the upcoming 2018 annual meeting of the bank and the fund. And last but not least, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude and appreciation for all of the speakers, the panelists, participants of this seminar, as well as my thanks to all of the staff at the organizing committee for their hard work. I wish all of you a pleasant time during your remaining stay in Surabaya and a safe journey back home. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
A woman is the finance minister of the family, not just wife or mother, and most of the time they also have a role in work or society. Their duality of role often seen as a weakness rather than a potential. Women continue to participate in labor markets on an equal basis with men. Globally, women are paid less than men. Women in most countries earn on an average only 60 to 70%. But world data shows that economic development and gender equality actually go hand in hand. This is why taking gender into account matters when developing and implementing economic policy. We hope that the findings from the seminar can be implemented to the economic policy formulation, especially on women empowerment-related policies. That's it for today. See you on the next series of Voyage to Indonesia. We're from Kemenkeu Corporate TV. We'd like to say thank you for joining this program and have a good day.